My name is Joyce, Mr. Arfan and friends. Today I want to show you my research that I have been doing since the last year. My research is about the awareness of Surabaya people about their own plastic waste consumption. Plastic waste isn't just an eyesore, it's a silent killer. This quote is by Sir David Attenborough. This quote reminds us that while Earth can provide for everyone's basic needs, some people may not know that plastic has a lot of dangerous effects. Sadly, in Surabaya, the ease and cheapness of single-use plastics have led to their overuse. People are destroying their own environment with the use of single-use plastics. So now let's start with the problem statement. The problem of this plastic waste issue occurs in Surabaya, where thousands of people live. Imagine this every day, countless of plastic bags, bottles and disposable items pile up in Surabaya streets, landfills and even waterways. This isn't just a disgusting sight, but it's also a mounting of health problems. Thousands, even millions of people live among this huge amount of plastic. And sadly, many might not even be aware of the impact of this plastic waste to our city, Surabaya. So now let's move on to the key terms that I use in this research. The first key terms that is the most important key terms that I use in this research is plastic waste. Plastic waste refers to any discarded or abandoned plastic materials, encompassing a very broad range like packaging, bottles, bags, wraps, and even food containers. Disposable items like cups, plates, straws, and utensils, and even broken or unwanted durable goods such as furniture, toys, and electronics. The major concern lies in its persistence, taking centuries to decompose and polluting the environment for a very long time. This waste often ends up in landfills, occupying space and potentially leaching harmful chemicals, or pollutes the ocean and threatens the marine life. The second key term that I use in this research is awareness. The term awareness here means that the people in Surabaya are aware about the amount of plastic waste that they are producing each day. People in Surabaya can only become aware when they are reducing the amount of trash produced by them, knowing the negative impacts that can be caused by the huge amount of plastic waste. And also when the people in Surabaya are volunteering in cleaning a trash public place. So if they already did all these terms, we can say that the people of Surabaya is already aware about the plastic waste problems that is happening. So now let's move on to my hypothesis. My hypothesis before I do this research is that the people of Surabaya is not aware about the plastic waste that they are producing because of many factors, such as the huge amount of trash produced every day in trash banks, landfills, and many more. Many people litter plastic waste around the city also. The government also being inefficient and many factors that support my hypothesis. Another hypothesis that I think is that the people in Surabaya rarely recycle other things that have the potential to reduce the amount of trash produced. So now let's see how I collect the data that I use in this research. The data collection method that I use is by surveying 63 people that live in Surabaya and collecting their data and other things needed to support my research. I also interviewed 2 of the experts on plastic waste. According to the results, we can conclude that the Surabaya households are not really aware about the plastic waste problem produced by them. So here's the example of the results from the Google form which I used to support my research. Did you know the effects of negative plastic waste? The presence of plastic waste is a danger to our environment, causing many negative impacts across ecological, economic, and human health issues. There are many types of negative impacts of the plastic waste, but today I will only tell you the 3 main negative effects of the plastic waste. The first one of the negative effects of plastic waste is environmental damage, like pollution. The term pollution means that when plastic waste damage the land and water ecosystems, choking the landscapes, clogging waterways, and infiltrating the food chain through microplastics. The second one is resource depletion. Plastic waste consumes rare resources like fossil fuels and water, contributing to deforestation and climate change. And the last environmental damage that may be caused by this plastic waste is landfill overload. Landfill overload means that when the discarded plastic occupies the landfill space that can be used by humans for other things. The second main negative effect of this plastic waste is economical damage, such as waste management. The term waste management here means that when dealing with plastic waste, the plastic waste impacts financial burden on both public and private sectors, diverting resources from other essential services needed for the people. Also, with the amount of plastic waste everywhere littered around all over the place, it could also reduce the amount of tourists that want to come to the city, which reduce the amount of income that the local businesses could get. The last and most important of the negative effects of the plastic waste is the human health concerns, such as microplastic ingestion. The microplastic ingested through contaminated foods and water can potentially disrupt human digestion system, leading to potential health risks. And chemical leaching, the chemical used in plastic production can leach into the environment and contaminate water sources, posing many health risks. But from these terrifying and dangerous negative effects, there is also a way to reduce these dangerous negative effects, such as to reduce the amount of plastic waste, which we will discuss on the next slide. There are 4 efficient ways to reduce plastic, such as reduce single-use plastic by minimizing the use of disposable plastic items like straws, bags, utensils by opting for the reusable alternatives. Secondly is by giving recycling education to people so that they can promote their awareness about proper recycling practices and encourage communities to participate in recycling programs. Thirdly is using reusable bags and containers, such as using reusable shopping bags, containers, and water bottles to cut down on the need of disposable plastic packaging. And lastly, choosing sustainable packaging, supporting products with eco-friendly and minimal packaging, encouraging businesses to adopt sustainable practices. And I think that's all for my presentation from my research. So now let's move on to my last slide of the presentation, which is the conclusion. As a conclusion, we can conclude that the plastic waste is very bad towards the environment and the people around them. We can also see that the plastic waste has a lot of negative impacts also. Even though plastic waste has a lot of effects, the people in Surabaya are still not aware about the plastic waste problem that is happening around the city because of many factors. According to my research, the people in Surabaya is not really aware, and the government also being inefficient in dealing with the plastic waste problem. Thank you for listening to my presentation.